everyone, my name is Shalyn
And I'm Val.
and this is The Hard Truth. Alright, so what are we going to be talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about a topic that we hold very dearly to our heart, gratitude. So,
yes.
what's gratitude to you?
Gratitude to me, it's about appreciating the little things in life and how it will lead to happiness. As simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very simple concept which I only actually recently begun to understand or even touch base with it. Because, so has it always been with you all the time since young?
I think it has been there since young because I've seen two different spectrum of how I say, the privileged life and the unprivileged life, and I'm always constantly in the middle to actually experience both ends. So I guess that's why for me it was very easy to have empathy. You know, I feel that gratitude comes also from empathy.
Yeah, which is true.
Yeah, so that's why when for example, if do you ever felt really really sad and heart-wrenching when you see a beggar on the street asking for money, but at the same time, you want to, ever since I was young, because I grew up in a temple, right? I go to temples and often there's a lot of beggars by the roadside, and then I did this when I was young though. I take money, right, from my own savings, all those coins, after you go canteen, you buy food, and then you have a lot of remaining coins.
Oh my goodness, right? You give the beggars.
So for example, I know that Sunday I'm going to the temple with my family. I will bring that coins and I'll put coins into their little pouch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so to me, I'm although I didn't know when I was young, right, they were probably part of a syndicate or stuff like that, but I always felt that that means they are very pitiful. They are very pitiful, and I always feel very sad for them. I have a house to stay, I have food, I have drinks, and that made me want to help a lot of those beggars at the street lah. But now, as you know, when I'm older, I'm much more aware of
whole syndicate.
Yeah, the whole syndicate and how you're actually feeding and supporting them being on the streets. I don't do it as often, but instead I join soup kitchens. Yeah, so I do things like that to be grateful that to count my blessings, so
wow.
So yeah, ultimately gratitude is it stems from something since young lah, being able to see
you're being brought up in an environment where it triggers your gratefulness and all that,
it's just I feel very very sad when I see that. So even now until today, if I see someone on the street and then they ask for money, I feel very bad. I don't give them money, but I know myself that I should not feed and continue their, if you still have hands and legs, to me, you can find a job, you can still survive, but ultimately there must be a reason why they're doing it. So I should never judge, and I would just say to myself that it's okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
but you have been very grateful since young, and
it's not hard also.
It's not hard because you're very empathetic.
No, I wanted to say it's not easy. It's not easy as well because one thing is it's not hard is because I'm empathetic, but it's also not easy because it's very conflicting in your mind.
It is lah. I would say it's very very conflicting, especially in my mind.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I grew up with people telling me you have to be grateful when you attend moral class. People tell you it's good to be grateful, you should be thankful, you have a roof on your head and everything. But as you grow up, at least for me, I kind of lost it. I feel it's a very literal thing for me. So when I talk about it, every time when I'm in some hardship, I would think to myself, hardship meaning just maybe some problems at work, okay? First world problem. But I would think to myself I have to be grateful and all, but why is it me and stuff? So I got so boggled up by the whole stress at work, stress because of, emotionally, mentally, that I kind of feel like gratitude become a very verbal thing for me. It doesn't mean anything.
It's just words to you.
Yeah. suddenly I just lost it. It became something like
You're doing for the sake of the face value.
Yeah, I would be like, when people tell me when I'm stressed at work, my dad would actually tell me like, you have to be grateful, start to be grateful for your things around you and stop looking at, you know, the bad things in work. Stop complaining about work. You are too negative now. You need to get out of that mindset and start to be grateful for, like, you know, you have food on the table, a roof on top of your head.
Yeah, that's true.
And when he tell me about things like that, I feel like at that point in time, because I was so stressed about work, and I feel like, yeah, you can tell me all that,
But you couldn't see it.
yeah,
You couldn't feel it.
I'm like, it's stressful. It's so stressful that I overlook it. It doesn't mean anything for me. I say, yeah, sure, I have a roof on my head and stuff like that, but I still can't feel totally the gratefulness because I have been dwelling so much into the whole complaining mode, which I feel actually is the main thing. As I grew out of it, eventually self-reflecting and everything, it really helps. But when I was in it, it's so hard to get out of it. So I do understand people who feel like this whole gratitude thing is a loopy business, you know, like what are all these people preaching, you know, like gratefulness, be grateful, then you'll be happy. But I'm stressed in my work, that kind of thing. So I do relate to that. And I feel like,
So how did you actually get out of it?
I feel the reason I'm stuck in it, actually, rather than why I get out of it, I got out of it because I slowly developed and be more conscious and aware. And through self-healing, I slowly began to like go into the whole gratitude thing. And really feel it. So
happy for you.
But I do think that if you guys are in a similar situation, the main thing that actually got me into the whole downward spiral and I can't get out of it is also partially I'm surrounded by a lot of complainers. So when I'm surrounded in such negative energy, I do feel like it
fits you
more and fits you, and you want to just complain, you don't want to do anything about it, you feel like you're the victim. It's just a downward spiral.
Correct. And this is why I always do self-reflection. So how I practice my gratitude is, I think I didn't know that I was actually practicing gratitude because I journal since I was young. I'm so
she
old
journals
school.
since she's young, guys.
I don't know, but I think the whole like journaling started because I didn't have an outlet, you know, and for me my outlet and way of expression is just writing down how I feel. And I've always find myself doing a lot of reflection. And I didn't know that now because I read a lot. I realized that actually since I was young I was actually practicing affirmations and also gratitude. So in a sense that I don't have a format to the way that I practice my gratitude. What I do is that I'm
curious. For
me, right, if I went through like a really really hard day, especially like for example, I did really bad in an exam, right, and obviously you want to do good in your exams, right? So for me it's that, okay, I'll tell myself that I would spend more time studying this particular subject, I would spend less time watching TV, you know, this kind of thing. Like, so but at the same time I will also say things like, but I'm also grateful that I've got to learn this thing about, for example, a particular subject, and if it's something to do with your friends, then you tell yourself that, okay, maybe I should be a better friend by doing this.
You're shifting your mindset into a more positive frame.
To be more positive frame. But it's always been like that since young. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's just something that I do to make myself feel better.
That's good.
Yeah. But I realized that now that I'm a bit more aware of this gratitude journaling, and it gives me much more clarity, like moving forward in like whatever that I'm doing, in the sense that I'm a bit more clearer with the questions that I ask myself when I reflect.
Practice,
practice. And when you are more, like, realize this as well, like when you're more grateful about things, better things happen to you. As much as it's like loony, that's what she mentioned, right?
It does.
But it's, I don't know how to explain. Like, there's no like scientific like.
It doesn't. But I do feel like maybe it makes you feel better.
It does.
And when you
Yeah.
feel better, your energy is better.
Yeah, so I
you
always
attract-
believe in like the energy thing, like when, because if you're constantly in that negative state of mind, right, good things you won't attract good things. You're just constantly going to attract like bad energy, you know. That's why
Yeah.
they say that if you have a bad day and you constantly like just
Dwell
dwell
on
yourself into the bad day, right, bad things will lead up to it. But if you are able to just turn that bad circumstance into something a bit more positive, right?
Shifting your
mindset, then slowly, like, oh, okay, it's not so bad after all, you know. So I think that's one way that I can, that's one way that I cope with all this like bad experiences. You know, I would say, okay, what's happening?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like that's what I do.
Now it reminds me.
About?
Yeah, so I remember how the whole gratitude journaling thing started for me.
Oh, okay.
It's actually because I was triggered because I have anxiety issue last time. I used to feel like when I'm overwhelmed by stress, I feel anxious. And when you feel anxious, you just go into this whole negative downward spiral
I know
thing.
how it feels, yeah. That's why I do it too.
And you just feel... So what I do when I discovered... what I did previously when I discovered this whole gratitude thing, I tried. I just keep writing. I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for this. I wrote like a whole 2-3 pages worth of it until I stopped feeling anxious.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's where it started, where I start to realize, wow, it really does make you feel better.
Yeah.
And later on, you don't dwell on it. You actually take action and go and solve the things instead of going into the whole victim position.
Yeah.
So it shift you in a very positive mindset. That's when I slowly started the whole grateful thing. And it started
that's good.
to matter.
Yeah.
Wow, I suddenly remembered.
That's great.
Yeah, that's how it started for me.
Yeah, see, that's the most important thing about changing this complaint mentality into this grateful mentality is always to take the first step. And I feel that a lot of times it's difficult to take the first step, but when you start doing the first step and doing the real work about
you have to take charge.
You have to take charge of yourself and being really aware of your present moment, because in order to be grateful, what's important is that you have to be very mindful and conscious about your surrounding as well. And one great thing about being grateful is that, you know, it keeps you grounded. You know, it doesn't
it requires you to be present in at the current time. So those of you who are not doing very well with meditation, right? Because I know a lot of people struggle with meditation. Start with practicing doing a gratitude journal, having one. So it draws you back to the present, and you can reflect on what should I be grateful for today, what I'm grateful for the day. It grounds you, like you say.
Yes, it does. And it makes me feel so good. You know, like they say, right, you should never go to sleep with your partner being angry with you. You know, even though if you're with a partner or not, you're not attached, you should not go to bed being angry with yourself and like with how you feel. So and one way to change that is to just, before you sleep, write down what you're grateful for. You don't have to list down maybe like 10 things you're grateful for, but you can start with like 5 things, 2 things, or even 1 thing.
I think it really
just
helps.
One thing that you're grateful for can make you feel so much better. And if writing is hard, this is what I do, because I mean, like, personally, writing it down and seeing what you're grateful for,
it helps a lot.
But because I'm let's be real, it's difficult. You gotta work out and everything also. So it's so tiring sometimes. You just want to go, you just want to like sleep, right? But what I do sometimes is I just, before I go to deep sleep, I just close my eyes and I just tell myself like, okay, today I'm grateful for this, and I just go to sleep.
It puts you actually that's actually part of how you can practice gratitude journaling. That's exactly what I do too. It's best to write it down, like you say, but what I do is also the same thing. I will close my eyes, and when I think about what I'm grateful for the day, you have to be what you're grateful for have to be specific and genuine to yourself, guys. Because it will be more impactful that way. So maybe let's say you're grateful for your partner, but what? So maybe I'm grateful that my partner threw the trash away today for me.
Small little things,
right? But when you think about all these things, it makes you happy and contented, and you sleep better.
Yes.
So that is one thing that I
Yeah.
really appreciate about gratitude journaling. And I feel
Yes.
like it's very helpful, and everyone should, start practicing it. I
Step
don't
by
know.
step. Yeah.
I'm sounding preachy now.
No,
but I
but
really think
honestly,
it's very important.
As much as it sounds preachy, but that's basically what I do as well to be in
Yes.
this like state of mind.
So step by step,
Yeah.
what you can do is, if you can't think of 5,
Just one.
okay, here's what we challenge you to do, okay, guys?
Let's do it now. Oh my god.
Now?
Yeah. Okay. Tell me what.
10.
Yeah. No need to say
So-
10. Maybe just say like
We challenge
3
you
things.
guys. Okay. We challenge you guys to do every night from now. To make it a habit, keep this up for 30 days. I would say
30 days. Okay,
Try
but
it.
okay, one thing
Try
about
it.
habits is that they say that it takes 21 days to create a habit.
Yeah,
So why not let's just say
true.
21 days instead of 30 days?
I mean, well, okay.
See, I'm giving out discounts for you
like
guys.
3 weeks, but okay.
But it's true. It's scientifically proven that
Yes.
it takes 21 days to create a habit. Yeah.
21 days is enough, but 30 days sounds better because it's a month.
Month.
But
Okay.
21 days is good. Just
Yeah.
do 21 days, 3 things you are grateful for right before bedtime, and close your eyes. Take that time to yourself.
Yeah.
Just do it. And if you feel like you can't visualize it, it's always best to journal. Write it down. It's best to write it down because you can see it,
Yeah.
and it makes you feel.
Yeah, and time to time what I do is that I also flip the pages like back and I
Yes.
reflect. I'm like, oh my goodness, I actually did this. And
Yes.
it makes me feel like, oh
Happy.
wow, how far have I come
Yes.
to be where I am?
Yes.
Yeah, and
I do
that's the most
appreciate that.
important because you have to celebrate your
Your little
journey.
wins.
Yeah, and that's when you know like, oh, I can do better in this aspect because you know that what you've actually achieved this, you know?
So
Yeah.
why don't you
Okay.
start with 3 things you are grateful for today?
For
Sure.
today. So I'm grateful that we are able to sit here together to do this podcast recording.
She stole my line.
Oh.
Okay.
It's okay.
I
I let you
accept.
say the same. I let you say the same thing as well.
Okay. The
Yeah,
second one.
I'm grateful for the fact that I'm able to have brunch with you earlier. Oh my god. And it was super nice. Like before we started this podcast, we were like even sitting down thinking about setting out our intention of how we want to spread this message, and I
Yes.
think that is so beautiful. Like
I think so.
Yeah.
It matters to both of us.
yeah, because we really want
greatly.
to make sure that what we're sharing is something that is relatable to everyone.
Mm.
You know, we know that we are not the best person to give advice, but we just want to make sure that
Want to start a conversation to
Conversation.
keep this going.
Yeah.
So you prompt you to think about it, and hopefully you also implement it
yeah.
for 21 days.
And then the last thing that I'm grateful for is just being able to be alive.
wow, that
Yeah.
is
Because yesterday,
that's so true.
true story guys, just 2 doors away, my neighbor's house caught on fire. Like the master bedroom,
Yes,
the
just
freaking aircon
yesterday.
exploded, guys. You have no idea how freaking scary it is
It's
to
no
just
laughing
see
matter.
like freaking bomber, like the fire brigade truck in front of my house, and it just shows like how life is so unexpected and
Yes, it is.
how anything can
How-
happen, and I'm just so grateful to be alive. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm sorry, but it was too deep. But yeah,
I
I'm just,
can't top that.
yeah. But your turn.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful that today I woke up and managed to go through with my workout
Oh, good
for
job,
today. You know, that I'm grateful that I managed to do that,
Yes.
and I'm also grateful that we are doing this to spread the message. I'm grateful
Yeah.
that we are both putting an effort to
yes.
spread this message and message through the podcast and everything. And thirdly, I'm really grateful for our brunch babe. Like
Oh yes,
the
it's so
scones
good.
is amazing, guys.
Yeah. We should probably do an episode or a vlog about
Because we are very passionate
Yeah.
about coffee
yes soon
and
soon.
our brunch. So
Yeah.
we'll probably do that.
right?
YouTube.
Quite cool, right? Yeah, so maybe you can hit to our YouTube with a bit more
Yes.
casual stuff there.
Yeah, it will be besides the whole self-development
Yes.
thing, things that we love and we want to share.
Yes.
Yes, definitely we should do that one day.
Perfect.
So
you see
those
how
are the three things.
so easy, right? So easy to
Yes.
be.
So specific,
Yeah.
genuine to yourself, personal to yourself.
Yeah.
If you find it very difficult, you do have a lot of help out there that they actually show you how do you journal, what can you write about.
I think it's a lot to do with just shifting your mindset, like from
And
and just
correct.
start by
you have to put in the effort.
yeah, like let's just say for example, if you really hate your job, I'm pretty sure there's one thing that you really like, so you turn that like into love. So when you like something, like I'm pretty sure everyone likes to get paid for their job. Am I right?
Yes.
So start with that. Start with I like getting paid,
Yes.
and turn that I love my job because I'm getting paid for my job, and then maybe turn that into like I love my job because it's providing me health benefits. I love my job because it's actually pushing me to learn something new every single day. And that's
Yes.
when you turn that sad frustration or whatever ever like negative feeling that you're feeling into
Yes.
joy, and that's when you start to appreciate a bit more about what you do every single day.
Yes. It might
Yeah.
sound a bit crazy if you're not implementing it now. I know
Yeah.
perfectly how it sounds because I used to be in that position. But trust me, just do exactly as Cher say. And after a while, it will come to you. You will start to really feel the gratitude.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really quite magical.
Yeah.
And it really shifts. You
It
really feel
does.
happier and everything.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
About gratitude. Like are we gonna do the PDF thing?
yes.
Okay, cool. So we'll probably create a little like one-pager PDF, because I understand it can be very probably intimidating for someone to
Yeah.
start even journaling.
It
Because
is
I do often
daunting.
have questions from my friend like, how do you journal? Because they are aware that I do journal, right? So
Mm.
I don't have a format like I said, but I think what would help is that if you have a certain set of questions that would guide you through your gratitude journey.
Yes.
So what we plan to do is that we're going to create this PDF, just one-pager PDF that you can probably print it out or just refer to. And yeah, like just ask yourself that questions before you sleep, or whenever
Yeah.
you are just feeling really, really low, or
Happy,
have that time to just do a
low.
reflection. Just look into the
Yes.
questions and just do that little reflection.
Yes.
Yes. So do look out for that link right down below in our description box.
YouTube.
Yes,
YouTube, guys.
YouTube. And yeah, we hope that you can start being grateful and start living a much more happier, healthier
Yes.
life. Because they say that being grateful leads to happiness, and happiness can lower down your blood pressure. Oh my god, I'm so stupid.
Last minute screw it up.
Yeah, but yeah,
yes.
yeah, we're all about spreading happiness and
Yes.
living life positively.
One
So-
step at a time, guys.
Yeah.
And we really hope this helps.
Yeah.
That will be it for today. And thank you for listening. We are grateful.
Thank you
for
so much.
guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much. If you
you.
actually listen to this podcast or watch this video all the way through, we really appreciate that.
it.
And once again, do give us feedback. Let us know
Yes.
what you want to hear, what you want us to talk about.
We talk about
anything.
Yeah.
We just want to
anything
talk
that
about
will
the
help.
hard truth.
Yes. The hard truth.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
It's recording. All right. Shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Go.